Recording in progress.
We're ready to go.
Good evening and welcome to the second meeting of the night. It is Tuesday, August 9th, 2022, and we are calling together the special meeting of the Oregon City Commission to talk about one specific topic. We have a public hearing tonight. Mr. Wiley, would you call the roll again?
Commissioner Frank O'Donnell is excused tonight. Commissioner Rocky Smith. Here. Commissioner Adam Marl. Here. And Commission President Denise McGriff.
Present. Well, this topic is yet another exciting one. First, we had transportation tonight, and now we are going to talk about flood management overlay districts, which is another very important topic to our community. And who is presenting this is out of planning, so Ms. Christina Robertson-Gardner. Mr. Foyles, would you like to do the introduction, please?
Happy to introduce Senior Planner Christina Robertson-Gardner and Josh Wheeler
Tonight.
Thank you, Commissioner President McGriff. City Commissioners, do you want to do the next slide, John? Great. So we are here this evening for a legislative file for amendments to Title 1704 definitions and 1742, the Flood Overlay Management District. Legislative files go through a Type 4 process, so this went in front of the Planning Commission and now goes in front of the City Commission for a first reading this evening and a second reading at the next City Commission meeting in August. Legislative files, disclosures of ex parte conversations are not required. You're actually encouraged to have conversations with the community when you work on legislative files, although any conflicts of interest must be identified in this process. And to date, we've had no public comment. We did we sent out notices to all property owners within the Flood Overlay Management District and within 300 feet and provided opportunities for comment. And to this date, we've had no public comment. The proposal is a request really coming from FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, as part of our community rating service review. Oregon City staff has been working with FEMA since mid-spring on our community service rating review, and Mr. Wheeler will talk a little bit more in detail. But through that process, they wanted the city to provide very specific wording in our flood overlay district that they felt that we had in our code, but they wanted to clarify it in a specific section of the code. We believe that there's no difference in how we administer the code, but with these code amendments, it provides the wording that FEMA wants and needs as part of our community rating service, reading system review. And more importantly, if the city does not approve these changes, then we are ineligible to be part of the community rating service system, and that takes away our reduction of our FEMA flood insurance rate. More importantly, why we are doing this evening, this agenda item was noticed for the August 3rd meeting, but because we need to have both the first and second reading in this month of August to finalize our agreement with FEMA, we move the first reading to this special meeting this evening. So I'm going to pass it off to our Assistant City Engineer, Josh Wheeler, who will provide a little overview of the purpose of the code changes and a little background on the work we've been doing since the spring with FEMA.
Thank you, Christina. So what is the community rating system? It is a program that FEMA runs whereby cities can become a part of and allow those that get flood insurance a potential insurance, a reduction in their cost of insurance to have floodplain insurance. The city has been eligible for that program and participating since October 1st, 2003. City staff have to provide annual reports to express to FEMA how we are administering the program. And every 5 years, we do a recertification. The rating system for that certification is a ranking of 1 to 10, 1 being the most insurance reduction, 10 being the least. However, is fairly difficult for cities of our type, with the type of flooding that we have, to be anything more than a 5 or 6. Usually coastal cities can get those ratings, so we're looking for anything that's 5 or 6 up to a 10. We currently have a rating of 8, but as city staff have gone through the 5-year certification process, we found many areas that we could document what we were already doing and just show FEMA that we were doing it. And FEMA has told us that they anticipate giving us a rating of 6. And I'll tell you what that means in a second. But to do that, we need to do some code changes based on the request of FEMA. Those code changes are for definitions. We've added a definition called machinery and equipment. We've also tweaked the definition of design flood elevation. And then in Chapter 1742, the Flood Management Overlay District Code, we've included manufactured homes and machinery and equipment to that code. The last time this code was updated was in 2010 through Ordinance 10-1003. And what's important to know, as Christina said, about these revisions is that nothing changes in the way we analyze properties, and there's no additional burden to anyone that has these properties. And why that is that the statement in the bottom of the slide says the city already administers code in this way using 1742.160.e. And just for an example, 160.e says, construction standards, letter B, all manufactured homes must do this, this, and this. In section 2C, it says electrical, heating, ventilation, plumbing, air conditioning must do this, this, and this. They wanted us to add manufactured homes more specifically in the way we say it in the language. And if you see the red line, you see it's just stated a different way. And they asked us to not use the words electrical, heating, ventilation, plumbing, but to change that to the word machinery and equipment and create a definition that says electrical, heating, ventilation, and plumbing. That's what their need was. We tried 3 times to tell them the code already says this. They had this need. We needed to abide by it. Where is the flood overlay zone? It's in the blue color on the picture in front of you, which is the Willamette River and the Clackamas River. Where are we currently at in the community rating system? This table shows that we're at an 8, which provides anyone in an SFHA, which is Special Flood Hazard Area, an insurance discount of 10%. If we move to a 6, that insurance rate will go to a 20% discount. And what's new in FEMA, starting pretty much now, is that if you're not in a special flood hazard area, you can still get a version of insurance. I'm not sure if it's called flood insurance. It might have a different name. But FEMA tells the insurance companies that in those areas, you should have half the percentage. So currently, if we get to the 20% and the rating of a 6, then that means people not in a flood zone, but maybe along a creek that's not in floodplain but has localized issues, they could get a 10% discount. And that's all determined by the insurance companies. We do not dictate any of that. That is FEMA certifying our rating and then telling the insurance companies this is the cost that you should provide and discount to those people.
Could participate.
Conceivably, that is correct.
Yep.
What is the impact? There are 215 parcels located in the 100-year floodplain in that special flood hazard area. And that's where they would get that 20% discount, which is a 10% increase. And then all other Oregon City parcels, that's called Zone X, and so that would be in an area that's not in that hazard zone, they would get a 10% discount.
That's a variety of residential, commercial, industrial. It's not just one particular.
That is correct. There is a mix of zones in that flood zone area, along the Willamette, along the Clackamas. Much of it is in the downtown zone, mixed-use downtown zone, but there are some residential mixes and some other zones throughout there as well. And questions, if you have questions, I'm here to answer those. And if not, we would ask for the first reading of the ordinance, which I believe Ms. Richter would assist with.
Yeah. Well, I think thank you for that great report. I think the thing that's important for the community to know, again, as you stated in the staff report, that the city is currently at an 8 rating and hopes to get to 6, and that rating will provide the 10% discount. A rating of 6 would be a 20% discount for the community seeking this type of insurance, if they already have it, they probably would get it reevaluated. So this is a good thing.
And I think, I'm sorry to
No, go for it.
add one more thing, just so everyone knows that if this ordinance passes, I would provide that information to FEMA. They would then give us our final certification, and then that certification becomes effective only twice a year is the way they do their system. And so we may make the April 2023 category of when they make that effective, because it's always 6 months after the initial certification that it becomes effective. If we don't make that window, we're really close to that window. It may not happen until fall of next year. So it doesn't happen automatically is the message I wanted to make sure you understood.
All right, is there a motion?
I move to approve the first reading of Ordinance 22-1004 with the changes to OCMC 17.104 and 17.42 as recommended by the Planning Commission.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded.
Commissioner Rocky Smith.
Just let
Wait.
me read
Oh,
it.
sorry.
Got to do one more thing. One more thing.
Sorry. I'll read it by title. Ordinance number 22-1004, an ordinance adopting amendments to Oregon City Municipal Code, Title 17, zoning of the Oregon City Municipal Code related to the floodplain code.
Okay, on the question, Mr. Wiley?
Commissioner Rocky Smith. Aye. Commissioner Adam Marl.
Aye.
And Commission President Denise McGriff.
Aye.
Motion passes.
So we will do the second reading of this ordinance on August 17th and get this underway. Again, thank you for the excellent report. This is a great benefit to the community, and this is, like I said, I'm very excited that we're able to get this done and move this forward because this is going to help our citizens and business and property owners. So, all right. So being no further business for this particular part of our meeting, we will adjourn this and move to our urban renewal work session. So we're going to do some Hollywood Squares seat changing here. So give us a moment.